Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Um, and also welcome to my video for sharing my knowledge on quality management, quality engineering. So today I would like to share with all of you special topic on quality costs. So this is actually a training program that I actually provided to one of the companies in Malaysia. I share with you uh, the slides so that you can explain to you what cost of quality and quality improvement to be done based on cost of quality. Actually, it's one of the tools in quality improvement, identifying the cost of quality, what are the categories, and so on. So this was a training which was conducted a long time ago. But don't worry, the contents of the quality tools that we shared with you will be still very much relevant. And I don't think I'll be able to finish this in one video. Probably I'll have to split it to two sessions for you to actually be able to know if it is too long, then probably many of you would be just bored with the content because it's probably a one-way traffic. So the main topics that I would like to share with you is first of all, we'll have to look at the importance of quality improvement and the cost to quality or cost of quality. Then we'll go to look at the quality cost categories, cost of quality categories and the elements that represented in the various categories. And in order for us to do improvement, we need to identify, we need to collect the quality cost data and report them. And not only that, then I explain to you, analyzing quality cost data using simple tools also. I'm not going to explain everything in detail. I'm going to give you an overall idea so that you can start doing it and start trying to look at how you can do improvement through the cost of quality concepts. So let's start by looking at the need for quality improvement and utilizing the measurement of cost of quality as our vehicle, as our method for doing continuous improvement. So imagine company's CEO. Well, it can be any company. So if the president or the CEO says our scrap costs, rework costs were 5 times our profit, and because of that, we had to increase price, subsequently lost market share. So the president or the CEO is telling us or telling me that they are experiencing a lot of scrap and reworks. If you notice, many organizations are faced with a lot of reworks and they don't realize that it is actually adding up to their cost. I once went to a company in Johor Bahru making these clips, file holders, the A4 size holders. So these holders, clips, were actually produced, and as I went into the company, inside the company, and there was one pallet of this completed what do you call clips, file clips. So I asked him, what's this? And he said, these are scraps. What do you do with them? Well, we throw it away. So these are money. These are money that is being wasted because of rejects. So he told me rejects. And, because the company is making profit and he probably he didn't worry about it. But imagine if this amount of rework or scrap can be reduced or removed. Imagine what will happen to their profit or even revenue to their organization. Okay, so it's very important to have that idea or that concept first. And quality is not only technical but also a business issue. So quality can you need to have tools. You need to understand from engineering perspective. You need to understand from specifications, from manufacturing processes that you need to do improvement. But at the end of the day, if you do not put quality at a strategic level, at the business level, you're going to lose the race. Look at Japan, look at Korea, look at even today China. I think they are trying to put quality at the strategic level, not at operational level. Quality cannot be put at the operational level. It must be put at the strategic level. And so you imagine customers will probably look at the company, may rate the company having high quality, and of course in highly competitive environment today we are talking about quality is a given. It's not something that is add-on. It's not an accessory. And the old method of inspection is no more effective. You need to embark on new approaches. Okay, so you need tools and technologies. Of course, you can use technologies today. There are advanced technologies in what do you call digital and information technology. So these are new things. But the thinking, I always emphasize thinking. The most important is thinking. You need to think customer is important. You need to think waste is important. So these are some of the definitions of quality. Quality is fitness for use, as what Duran have defined by Duran. Or even if you look at Crosby, conformance to requirements. Requirements can be from a technical perspective, can be from a managerial perspective. Requirements, and obviously, if you do not measure, then you'll not be able to ensure that whether it conforms or not. If the requirement says that the height of a certain table should be around I don't know 30 inch or like 500 not 500 maybe 80 centimeters. So you have to measure and make sure it's conform to the requirement, engineering specification, thickness, hardness, mass, electrical properties, and so on. So you can go beyond that and think that quality, even requirements in service. If the service in a hotel, it's a 5-star hotel, then you expect 5 stars, comfort, 5-star food, all those kind of things. And Deming is one of the greatest guru. I really admire. He died at the age of 93 actually, and he said that should be aimed at the needs of the consumer, present and future. So forever and ever, we have consumers. You and me are consumers. We consume. For example, I just bought this webcam, and I think it's quite. It is very clear in terms of my previous videos that I've recorded. So it is consumer, future, present, and at the end of the day, business survive because of consumers. And in this time of COVID-19, I believe that if the service providers, food, whatever, can deliver whatever the consumer intend to have, you're in business. You're going to survive, and you must deliver on time according to the product specifications or requirement promise. Okay, and repeat orders. Quality is determined by repeat orders. Okay, when you have repeat orders, once my lecturer, Mrs. Eileen Espinol, said that quality is proven when customer comes back for the product more of it, come back. Okay, so there's many definitions of quality, and I also would like to, introduce Taguchi definition of quality, where he said that quality is a loss to society. Very, philosophical. Anything that results into loss to society after being shipped is a loss where you can, other than caused by its actual function or its intrinsic functions that is actually intended for. For example, the thickness of a piece of paper, when you use it to print and it tears, because the strength of the paper is not sufficient, it's a loss to society, because that piece of paper, you have already produced it, there's cost involved in producing it, and that paper, just one piece of paper, even one piece of paper, okay? Imagine you produce a computer which is actually, first week of usage, it damaged, it doesn't function, it's not working. It's a loss to society. Not only that, even you send it out for repair, it's a loss to society. Think about it. Okay, so that is, the philosophy of Taguchi, loss function. And Taguchi also has this robust engineering methods, Taguchi methods, which is very popular in Japan, but not in Malaysia. Malaysia is not popular. So I'll move on. I'm not going to, if I have time, I will repeat this in my future videos. So why quality? It is moral aspects. You do not want to make products that will harm or kill someone. You want to comply with external requirements. You want to avoid product liability. And lack of quality costs money. Surely it will cost money. And of course, marketing, you want to actually able to tell that your products are actually of high quality that meets all the even legal requirements, following all the product legal requirements. So I'm not going to stress that importance of quality. If I have time in the future, I will probably elaborate on that. Now, so before 20th century, so we have this so-called metrology, specification, inspection. So the key is inspection. But now we are moving towards, this is actually reactive. When quality is just inspected into a product, what can you do? At the end of the production line, product has been produced. So you only inspect and you find defects. So that is not building quality or not thinking about proactively trying to determine the correct processes. So quality is actually more than inspection. If someone tells me that, I have a good QC, then I'm sorry, I don't believe you. You have to actually prove that you have quality control, quality assurance, quality planning, CQI, defect prevention, SPC, all these things. Then I will believe you that, I will believe in you that you are actually, an organization that practice total quality, or for improvement purpose, not for the sake of just complying and just selling the product. Okay, this is particularly for complicated and engineering products. I'm not going to you may ask me, does it apply to restaurants? Obviously not. GRR&R, gauge reproducibility and repeatability, applies to manufacturing, applies to engineered products. So some of these complex products, they go through the process of very rigorous quality assurance and quality management system. Okay, so it depends on your product complexity. For example, Six Sigma. Okay, Six Sigma. yeah, you can apply that in service-oriented organization, but the processes involved in doing the improvement or applying the Six Sigma tools will be probably much reduced. Okay, it's not that complicated. So once at one time I was arguing to a lecturer or a person who actually works in less complicated organization or less complicated basically. So the extent of application and the tools will definitely depend on the complexity. Oil and gas, definitely you will see very advanced application of risk prevention. Today in 2015, ISO 9015 talks about risk-based what we call product quality management. Okay. So anyway, we have moved. We are no more talking about small Q. Small Q is only uh, here inspection product quality. We're talking about big Q, big quality. Okay. So think about it. So the evolution of quality has the previous slide actually, this is a simplified version of the previous slide. So from inspection, it has moved to quality control. It's only part of it because quality control, like using 7 tools of quality control, SPC, and that is only, or even trying to fulfill quality requirements of the product. Okay, and it has evolved to assurance. Assurance means a system. For them, ISO 9000 is an assurance system and programs, reliability testing, what you call robust engineering. So those are programs focused on providing confidence to the customers that quality requirements will be fulfilled, providing confidence. So consumer, you and me, do not have to go and inspect, even higher institutions of learning. Okay, every parent, you imagine every parent trying to, inspect and check all our, internal program. There's going to be a problem. Only we assign that to certification bodies to do the inspection, like MQA. So in manufacturing, same thing happen. You certified to ISO 9000, and you telling consumers, for example, I'm producing, proton cars. So no need. All the customers come to Proton and see how the welding process is. What is the welding condition? What is the stamping press condition? No need. No. Internally, all the processes will have preventive measures so that quality is assured. Right from design, manufacturing, delivery, handling until the end customer. So that is the big part of quality assurance. And you come to a stage of quality management means not only the manufacturing or the operations assures quality, but the whole organization coordinated activities by the HR, human resource department, to ensure only qualified workers are actually employed. Only qualified engineers are employed. Purchasing, make sure that they select the best, the proper qualified suppliers. And top management must have the strategy to conduct and do what you call improvement on a continuous basis, and have mission and vision and mission towards becoming an excellent organization. So in this level at quality management, that's where we have the quality awards. Malaysia used to have this Malaysia Quality Award, Anugerah Quality Perdana Menteri, but now it has already been abandoned. There's no more. Only only the innovation award, which I don't think it is not suitable, not for managing, for judging or to look at the concerted effort by the whole organization, right from top management until the shop floor worker or the cleaner for that matter. So in order for an organization to become excellent, every processes, everybody in the organization, every unit, every department, and every facilities, all facilities, machines, what they call transport equipments, all has to be maintained. So maintenance is there. So that's how big the quality management is. I can explain it probably in another video on that. But now let's move on to the evolution of quality. Okay, just this is a BS 4774778. So it's a management philosophy which embraces all activities which the needs and expectation of the customer and community, needs and expectation of the customer and community. So you produce product that does not damage the environment. You don't produce pollution to the rivers. So that is a total quality company. If the company produces products and they damage the environment, it's not a quality company. It's not, that's it's simple, it's basic. So everyone listening here should, you ask yourself whether you are damaging the community or not, even to the extent that as individuals, are we contributing to the well-being of the society or not? Are we a quality person? Okay. And the objectives of the organization are satisfied in the most efficient and cost-effective manner. Obviously, you do not want organizations to be making business with losses, of course. I mean, this is part of the objective of the organization. They want to survive. All companies want to survive. All individuals want to survive. So most efficient and cost-effective manner. That's why it is important that we understand the quality concept for continuous improvement. Continuous improvement means, is there a better way of doing this? Can we find ways of reducing defects? And how do you do that? So you maximize the potential of all employees. Every employee, Japanese, they actually have a Kaizen system, or they have a Teian system, suggestion scheme, so that everyone contribute to giving ideas for the organization to improve and to become the best. That's why we hear of, big companies coming from developed world. In Japan, you have Sony, of course, now we have the competitor from Korea, which is Samsung. But these are organizations that believe in the potential of employees, give them the right tools to do the best jobs. If you do not give the right tools, I don't know. I don't think anyone can do a good job having, the worst tools. I give you a very simple example. Very simple example. A cleaner needs a broom which is actually not damaged. I mean, the I don't know what you call it, the bristles at the end of the broom should be sweeping the floor, not the kind of brooms which has already been worn out, being used by the cleaner. For that matter, for any other tools. Tools, you have to look at tools not from the perspective of in manufacturing, engineering. All jobs have tools. So are we providing the tools for them to do a good job? Of course, it comes with motivation level, theory, the salary, and so on. That's why Deming said that 95% of problems in organization are caused by management. Because management decide the salary, management decide the tools, management decide the system, management decide all the rules. So think about it. As management, how do we cut the red tapes in organization? Let employees you try to maximize their potential. Okay. And why improvement is a must? It's a must. Basically, it's must. You know, it's becoming very, very competitive. What do you call today? VUCA, volatile, uncertain, complex. What do you call another E? Okay. Anyway, competition, changing customers' needs and perspective. Customers are changing daily on a daily basis, and products are getting much, much more complex. Systems are much more complex, from mechanical system to electronic system, from we have electric cars today. We used to have internal combustion engine drivetrain. So, and obviously higher levels of customer expectation. That is what we are seeing. That's why it's important to embark on improvement. So we need to measure, assess value of all activities that will affect quality, not only product, but also total quality. So some of the performance measures that companies actually employ and use, but I will want to warn organization not to use too many performance measures, because it will distract what you actually want to achieve at the end of the day. The manufacturing, they focus on defects per million or PPM, parts per million. Inventory turn, on time delivery. So I don't know whether in higher institution, employability is a good measure, or I think we should measure the employer satisfaction level towards our graduates, and see whether what's the level of satisfaction. Because at the end of the day, our products of students works in a company, whether they have the knowledge, skills, and attitude and values required for them to be part of the team in solving and improving the organization, making the organization excellent. For example, you enter the employment and work in Proton. Do you have the right attitude? Right attitude means, for example, you need to work hard. You need to show the level of confidence. You need to practice good teamwork. All these things. And knowledge. Knowledge means be able to, for example, understand from, if you are an engineer, engineering drawings, you cannot read the drawing, then there's something wrong with your training as an engineer. Or even problem solving. How do you solve problems? Engineer must be able to solve problems. Anyway, so performance measures must be decided. And in this case, I want to tell you about the cost of quality. Okay? Because at the end of the day, finally, the value of any quality initiative, any quality program are based on the ability to contribute to profits or reduce costs. So any company, that's why companies, when they ask you to give training, they want to see whether whatever you teach them, whatever you impart the knowledge, whether it is usable, whether they're going to have benefits, whether they'll be able to, businessmen, they want to reduce costs. Will they be able to reduce costs? So an effective performance measure is cost of poor quality. So one of the most effective measure is cost of poor quality. If you cannot do all of them, do some of them. I mean, that's my opinion. Of course, it depends on your opinion. So it will actually, when you know the cost of poor quality, it will help you to make decisions based on your expenses and income of the business activity. And also, cost of quality will show the efficiency of any business. I always believe that we are paying for some of the cost of inefficiencies which has been produced or costed in a product, any services. Because when we pay for this product, for example, I bought this new computer, Latitude 2-in-1, 8,000 ringgit. Okay. Inside this 8,000 ringgit, if the cost of poor quality is 5%, okay, 5% is a bit too high. Okay. 1%. So calculate 80 ringgit, yeah, because re-inspection, retooling, backtracking to do another investigation. Okay, so these are costed efficiency of any business is measured in ringgit, and cost of quality can be found, can be investigated, can be determined. Okay, same as cost of maintenance, cost of production, and so on. So we need to actually measure cost of poor quality. We call it COPQ or PONC, P-O-N-C, price of non-conformance. Okay, price of non-conformance, price of non-conformance, so that we achieve better quality and customer satisfaction. I will explain to you a little bit. What is quality cost? So cost of quality are those costs associated with non-achievement of product or service quality defined by the requirements. And it refers to all necessary costs and non-value added activities. So there's a lot of non-value added activities during the product realization process. So in ISO 9000, we call it product realization or service realization. But actually you can call it operations process or production process, or in the making of the product. And cost of quality is usually understood as the sum of conformance plus non-conformance. So theoretically, if you search for books which actually talks more on the cost of quality, this price of conformance plus price of non-conformance. And if we want to do a full blast quality cost, will involve all departments: purchasing, R&D, production, PTC, and so on. But my opinion is, if you want to start in production alone first, then it's very good. Or operations, where you see a lot of opportunities for identifying and seeing the related costs. Okay. So in our pursuit for quality improvement, quality costs provide good basic data for quality improvement or total quality management. Okay, because if we know what our quality cost is, then we can actually do improvement. When you have high quality cost, meaning your quality cost is 20% of sales, 35% of sales. This is recorded somewhere in the literature. 20% of sales dollars in manufacturing. You can refer to Besterfield. Besterfield also mentioned this. So so you need to quantify this, and especially management, they will only take action or understand when you tell them that our defects. If you say we only produce 5% defects, they will just ignore. But if you tell the management that our defects amount to 5 million ringgit, okay, then probably they'll jump off the seat. They will be surprised to why is it too high. So money you convert into the management language, ringgit Malaysia or dollars. Management will immediately look into it. So you need to develop a quality cost program. I will explain to you after this. And you need to identify, because in the quality cost program, you can identify opportunities for improvement and justification for corrective action, especially it's coming from the customers. For example, I just, highlight, I would tell you that one of the quality costs is cost of failure costs. Failure, anything that fails in the market is type of quality cost in the market. But also there is external failure, which is outside, internal failure. So if you can identify what are the external failure cause. For example, too much customer complaints on the certain component to be easily broken, or the classic case of proton power window. So that is actually power window. The classic story about if you go to the toll in Malaysia. In Malaysia, we go to the highway and the toll. Every time door open, not the window open, it must be a proton. So that's the joke at that time, okay, like probably 10 years ago. Anyway, so it justified for corrective action. Okay, and every cent saved will increase profits. Take care of the penny, and the penny will take care of itself. So that's not stingy. Okay, this is actually trying to reduce waste. So the principal advantage is identify hidden costs, which is not able to detect in operation. The program must be comprehensive and not firefighting. So it must be long term. It's not short term. And the real improvement occurs when you go for the root cause. Root cause, there are ways of identifying root cause. The Japanese likes to use 5 why. Why is the thing broken? Broken because the area contact is too little, too small. Why is it too small? Because there is obstruction with another object beside it. We need to make it small. So what can we do? So you ask why 5 times. 5 times. But of course, if you get the answer until the third why, you can stop. But root cause. So I always question people, what is the root cause of problems in our society? What is the root cause of the lack of discipline in our society? What is the root cause of well, you can think about it. So these are the hidden costs of poor quality. This iceberg, I think, is a classic example of many areas in inventory, in cost of poor quality. So because of, you can see warranty expenses, customer returns, but you cannot see these delays, process downtime, extra inventory. So these are, because of this poor quality, these are costs. Delays are costs. Some companies, and like in Proton, when you have line shutdown or line stop, you'll be, the customers will pay for the line stop. Okay. Right. So before I go to the next session, I hope you have a good idea of what the the fundamentals of cost, the importance of it, and so on. So probably just to show you the glimpse of cost of categories, quality cost categories, prevention, appraisal, and failure costs. Okay. So we call it the PAF model. PF, prevention, appraisal, and failure costs. So internal failure, any cost associated with defect before transfer to customer, before. Okay, so costs will disappear if no defects exist in products before shipment or within premise. Example, scrap, rework, failure analysis. At one point in time, we were inspecting products which are found to be defective in production line. We need to, I had the experience of actually going to the premises of the delivery area and do the inspection. So, the cost becomes bigger as you go further away from the point of processing. If you detect the defect at the point of assembly, immediately you can rectify and replace. If it is in the next step, still it is much cheaper. If you detect the defect at the inspection area, depends, how far it's already been processed, to dismantle it, to fix a new one. Okay, imagine you go out of the manufacturing premises or your operations, then the cost is exponential already, because you need to send your team to do the repair. You need to send a team, bring in the spare parts, meaning the component, bring in the tools to do the replacement. So detect early. That's why it's important to have a foolproof internal mechanism. The next process is your customer. So all these philosophies and ideas are towards preventing flow of defects. If you can prevent flow of defects, you'll be able to detect early. You can prevent from flowing out. So these are internal failure costs. I think these slides, if you want them, you can just uh, put in my comments and give your email and address, and then I can probably email it to you and share this. This is for free. This is not. No, I don't want to. Okay, this is price down trading, external failure costs. So these are external. Now you start seeing. I know you will be able to start seeing this. These are quality cost categories. First is failure. Failure is internal failure or external failure. External failure is after transfer of ownership to the customer. So cost is zero if no external failures. Warranty claim, complaint investigation, return parts, lost sales. So these are all external failure costs. If your organization, you just want to start off by looking at failure costs and embark on quality improvement, this is a good point of start, good starting point. Identifying what are the major external failure costs, and then I will show you, some tools to actually do the analysis. So these are example, customer complaints. You imagine the cost of investigating and satisfactorily responding to customer complaints. Product return cost, product liability, doing the repair, warranty claims. Warranty claim process is not only just, as customer, you only know that you send the products to the point of repair. But a warranty claim process starts to remove the defective components, send it back to the department taking care of investigating it. And internally, the department will initiate investigation, find out the root cause, find out the reasons, fill out a form. There are processes, there are steps involved, and it's cost. Any single one part in automotive, because I used to work in automotive company, will go through this costly process of trying to determine the reasons of failure and to make sure that the person who are responsible, for example, if it is a vendor A, and purchase parts department need to liaise with vendor A and provide the countermeasure report sheet, for example, or reasons for failure. That's process, not including parts that need to be sent to the what they call sales and service center, and we have to pay the service center to do the warranty claim and so on. It's costly. That's a simple broken nut. A broken nut, probably the cost is more than 100 ringgit, including all the times processing the officers and so on, handling, returning back. Okay, so that's external failure cost. Other cost categories is appraisal cost. That means anything that you do in the organization to do inspection. Some organizations do not realize this, in government department, service department, don't realize that when you sign a form and you re-sign it, it's appraisal. If there is 5 person doing the appraisal, that's 5 times cost. So, how do we eliminate this appraisal cost? Appraising, just doing it is not value adding. Inspection is not value adding. It's not value adding. It's just confirmation. But of course, you need to do incoming inspection because you want to just do some sampling. There are standards. There are in manufacturing military standard, MIL 105E, for example, are used for incoming inspection, sampling. You don't have to do 100% inspection or source inspection at the facilities. And operations inspection, all the equipment need to be ensured of their accuracy, their calibration, limit. So these are the appraisal costs, operator costs. Those who are in manufacturing, those who have seen this will probably understand what I'm trying to convey to you. These are appraisal costs, test equipment costs, cost of maintaining equipment used in testing quality characteristics of products. And all these are examples of appraisal costs: lab tests, personnel testing, equipment calibration, in-process inspection. Okay. So if you increase appraisal costs for prevention and it balance up with failure costs, I mean, if you spend money on appraisal and failure cost reduce, it's okay because you are getting return on investment on appraisal. Because prevention and appraisal are, there's another one which is actually a prevention. So I've already mentioned to you failure costs, appraisal costs, and finally a prevention. Prevention are anything that you spend cost incurred for planning, implementing, and maintenance a quality system to ensure conformance to requirements. You do design review during product development. It is prevention. Okay, you do reliability testing during design, reliability testing, hot cold cycles. You do rubber tensile strength. You do ozone testing. Okay, to see whether ozone attacks the rubber, how long it lasts, right? So these are prevention, measuring equipment, calibration, prevent. These are investments. The cost that you need to keep failure and appraisal cost minimum. Okay, so if you increase on prevention, hopefully your appraisal prevention cost will reduce. Okay, so you want to actually proactively build in a system, and I think now it is timely because we have a lot of digital tools, we have a lot of sensors, we have a lot of IoTs that actually will be able to do real-time maintenance or checking of the equipment so that you do not result into failure. So we can use technologies to prevent defects from happening, but this requires investment. Okay, but many companies, for example, training is part of prevention. Training, coming with a new knowledge, but many companies see training as a cost. No, it's not investment. So it's prevention. So these are an example of prevention costs, and you can think of other examples in any section, any service sectors. Okay, right. So I want to stop here now so that I can. It's a bit long for this video, so I hope that you will be you have some ideas of what quality costs is about. Please post any questions. Please email me shari@utm.my or shariyusuf@gmail.com. Contact me on Facebook, no problem. I can entertain you anytime, inshallah. And hopefully, I hope that this is beneficial to all of you who's watching this. And inshallah, as I promised, I will increase my sharing of knowledge to everyone so that everyone will be able to benefit, inshallah, the knowledge, too little knowledge that Allah has given, inshallah. So thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.